Chapter 2 discusses about thinking like an economist. In this chapter, the main objectives of this chapter, we will study, we have different objectives to achieve by discussing this chapter. First of all, we will understand the roles of economists. What is the role? We have two roles. If you study economics, you have two roles. Also, we will discuss two simple models about the economy. They are the main two models that usually we have in the economy. Also, we will focus more. The first model is about the circular flow diagram, and the second model is about production possibilities frontier, PPF. Later on, we will have some discussion about the difference between microeconomics and macroeconomics. And also we talk about the positive and normative economics, which means the statement when people give statements to media or when they give statements to academics. It's a short chapter, but also it is very rich with information. So the economist as a scientist, usually economists play two roles. They try to explain the world. If we have different phenomena, if we have, for example, now many economists, they try to explain the problems, the crisis of corona pandemic. What are the solutions? What are the causes? How can we solve this issue? So many scientists, many economists, they try to analyze and explain the crisis of corona pandemic. Also, economists, usually some of them, they work as policy advisors for the government. So they try to offer suggestions in order to improve the economy or to increase the economic growth. In the first, economists employ the scientific method. So here in the first one, when you work as a scientist or as an academic, you try to implement the scientific method. What we mean by scientific method, that we use different tools, we use different academic tools in order to explain different phenomena in the world. The dispassionate development and testing of theories about how the world works. So here we use different theories. Also, we use empirical evidence in order to explain some problems. We provide solutions based on theories and based on empirical evidence. Usually, whenever we try to explain a theory or we try to explain a model, we provide some assumptions. For example, what do you mean by assumptions here? It's about simplify the complex world, making it easier to understand. Same thing here. In order to explain theories about economics, we make some assumptions in order to simplify the theories. For example, here to study international trade, we assume that we have two countries and two goods. In reality, actually, we don't have two countries. In reality, we have more than 190 countries. And in reality, we have we have millions of goods. But to make the model simple and to understand it, we assume that international trade, we have two countries and two goods. Of course, it is unrealistic, but simple to learn and gives useful insights about the real world. So like any other subjects in the world, usually we provide models. So as we said, for example, if you want to study medicine, the lecturers, they provide, so here the lecturers, they provide a human body model, so they can explain about different organs in the human body. For example, also, if you want, for example, to study mechanics, usually we can show a model on screen about different parts of the, for example, of the car, of the airplane, and so forth and so on. So here also in economics, a model is usually a highly simplified representation of a more complicated reality. Why do we do this? In order to make things simple and in order to have a better understanding about different subjects about economy. So economists usually use models to study economic issues. We have different examples. For example, when you want to travel from one place to another, let's assume you travel to Istanbul. Istanbul is a very complex city. But in order to drive there, usually we use a map, whether we have a normal map made of paper or we use, for example, Google Map, for example. So this Google Map is a model of Istanbul road map that we have. If we want to study mechanics, for example, so we have a model airplane. We have a model of airplane. So as an engineer or as a lecturer who wants to explain about different parts of airplane, they show you a model on PowerPoint or on a screen in order to simplify the model for you. If you want to go and see a real airplane, it's really complicated. But to make things really simple, they show it to you on a screen. Also, when you study medicine, for example, the model teeth at the dentist office, this is an example also for how to show models.